Welcome to this Elden Ring DLC Shadow of the Erdtree build video. It's gonna be my first build video, and guess what? We're just getting started because once I get my hands on the game and truly dive in deeper, we're gonna have the best builds possible. But for now, I'm gonna give you what is the easiest build to start off with. I'm not gonna go through a lot of the different aspects, but I'm just going to coach you into what you should be looking for and what you should go, because this is literally just for somebody who's starting out and just turning the DLC on, and we're going to dive deep. All right, I'm calling this build the Team Ninja Neo build. It's amazing. I love it. You're going to have fun with it, I promise. But before we talk about that, I want to let you guys know we do have giveaways for the channel, multiple giveaways. Free copy of Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, plus Assassin's Creed Shadows. All you got to do is like, subscribe, and comment, and you will have a chance to win. All you got to do is lock in, but the information is in the description, so go check that out. And I will be announcing the winners in these videos, so stay tuned to make sure that you get your chance to win as we go forward. With all that out of the way, let's talk about it. First of all, this DLC is no joke. You want to be high enough. I'm going to showcase a build that's around 150. You can start this off at level 0 because you don't have to fight anybody to pick the piece up and go from there. But I will say it is not that easy. And this is strictly for one weapon, so that you can have the beginnings of your build when you go forward. But I'm going to coach you on how to set it up as you go forward as well. With that out of the way, there's a lot of new weapons, and we're going to start off with a new weapon that you can pick up very easily, very early, as a matter of fact, in this DLC. So lock in and watch out as we continue to give you the goods. Before I show you where it's at and how to get it, let's go right in here, and I'm going to show you the Red Bull levels. I'm not sure if you guys seen this footage, but we're going to play back this specific section. You're looking at the katana right here, the great katana. You can get it in the first 2, 3, 4 minutes of the game without fighting anybody. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to build it and go forward, but I just wanted to show it and give you why I say it is just like the Neo game, where you do your overhead. The special is an overhead slash, which is very cool in my opinion. That right there is the start, and then you can do multiple hits. It has succession hits where you're going to consistently hit people, and it's very important to note that, because that's going to be the play style. We're going to use Arcane to create build up and go from there as we go forward. Okay, and if you want to know where it is, I'm going to start off with that to give you guys just a quick look so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. This is the sword. We're going to get into the details in a second, but I want to take a moment to show you exactly where it is. So you're going to be starting off in this map. Spoilers for the map very early on. Not much else I'm not going to show, but this lake right here will have itself a sleeping dragon. You don't have to fight it. You can just grab the greatsword for the start of the game, and then you'll be good to go. I am going to talk about the greatsword and talk about how I want to set it up and the focus. As you guys know, I've already talked about this extensively on how to start your builds, and the key component is always going to be Arcane. Arcane is going to be critical. There's 77 here, but I'm going to have it at 80 or higher, because that's going to allow me to discover better weapons. So I wanted to begin the DLC with high Arcane because it gives you better luck, aka discovery, to find new weapons. Anytime you kill an enemy, they're going to drop something. In my build, I have over 260 discovery because of the setup that I have. All right, in this build, we just want to show you at 150, when you're level 150, sorry about that. When you're level 150, you're going to be able to play the DLC a little smoother and have a decent time. Okay, but if you look right here, we're using a cult for this greatsword, and the reason for that is we want to create blood buildup. We want to be consistent with the blood buildup. We don't want to lack on that. As you can see, it scales on Arcane. All right, it's the main focus of this build is the Arcane buildup that you can see right there below. That is important. All right, so the focus for your play style is to have Arcane, find weapons that have Arcane scaling, which is going to allow you to discover new weapons, and then later you can change your build and go forward. And this is why this is the starting build, the best way to start right off rip when you play the game, because you're going to have that. All right, and I want to just note something. Occult is going to help you with the blood buildup, and you don't have to use the Savage Lion's Claw. We have it in here because it does a double slash, which is very great. But the original skill, which we just showcased, and I'll showcase again so you guys can remember that this skill right here, it's going to do the Neo from Team Ninja's game. That slash right up top, it's going to do 3 hits or so, and you can do it consistently. The only thing that I will say about doing that attack is that it eats up some of your stamina or your actual FP. So you want to be able to be smart and not waste it all in one shot. All right. So that's the key to this setup, right? But we want to just talk for a second about the overall build, right? I am saying 60 vigor is the minimum you should have to be comfortable and not die during boss fights and during the game. Because from what I've seen and heard from people who played, they've all said the same exact thing, that it does get brutal after a while and it can be a little tough. So do not waste time and make sure that you have 60 vigor. Now we're going to talk about these stats for a second. You don't need a lot of mind or endurance. You need enough to be able to hack and slash with the weapon. So in the 20s is good enough. For strength and dexterity, the only reason I have it here, and you can actually make sure you only do the requirements, which as you can see, dexterity is 18 and strength is 14. With that type of numbers, you should be able to dominate and be comfortable. You need 0 intelligence, okay? So don't even bother with intelligence. Don't waste your energy or faith with this build. Put it all into Arcane. Everything goes into Arcane except for the vigor and a little bit of mind and endurance. You can't be panic rolling and things like that, wasting your endurance. So the only thing that you can change as you go up, if you're going to go higher than 150, is adding more endurance, mind, and vigor as you go forward. And of course, the Arcane, so you can be maximized with this play style. All right. There's no wrong answers on how you want to go, but the principle that I'm trying to teach in this video is really all about knowing that Arcane is the best starter for any build when you first start this DLC, because you're going to kill something and they're going to drop something extra from their arsenal that's going to give you a boost with very cool weapons, items, and so on that you want to get. Of course, this isn't an official build when it comes to the armor and the talisman, but I will say this about the talisman. What you want to do is put successive attacks. All right, there's a bunch of talisman that are really great for that, and you're going to be able to dominate more if you put those things on as you play this game. You should be fine going forward. All right, so just focus, as I say here, and I'm going to showcase it one more time. This weapon is about getting multiple hits, stacking that up with your talisman, and then being able to make people bleed, proc the bleed, and then you should be good to go because you have that Arcane. Plus, the Arcane is a good way to start because you're going to find more weapons. The more you take enemies out, the better you'll be. Okay, that's the principle, and this is the startup build for you guys and for everyone. I believe it's the best way to go, easy to begin and to lock in. Now, with that out of the way, I will say thank you so much for all the love and support. We have those giveaways. All you got to do is comment, and we will be announcing them on the channel. Outside of that, I do have some guides, tips, and tricks for you guys. So check them out right now. Lock in. We see you on the next one. Peace.